How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet, and welcome back to a brand new Poke Forward video. Today we've got some rumors, leaks, everything in between. Let's get right into it. Starting things off with this post right here, shared to us by Soul Silver and Blaze Incineroar, which actually is a bit of a theory. So we're going to be just going through this real quick and see what it's all about. So these three colors in the mask gems made me think, what if the mask form Pokemon could have stab for 3 types? It could work as, instead of changing the Pokemon type, a mask would add stab depending on the Pokemon's Terra type. In this case, Ogrepon would have to be Grass, Fairy, and a Terra type Electric. And actually would make sense with the different colors that are in there. And there is a bit of an explanation here, or a thought process from Soul, who, by the way, if you don't know who these guys are all, theorists, leak analysts. They just analyze leaks, rumors, all kinds of things like that. He says, I actually really like this idea. It makes a lot of sense to me that these colors could point to Ogrepon's typing. Maybe Grass and Fairy with an Electric Terra type. Or maybe these typings are forms it could have. A good catch, which I think would be pretty interesting. But nonetheless, that was one of the first things we had to take a look at today. Next thing is going to be this right here. We actually know that basically the brand new Pokemon series, which is going to be coming out, the brand new anime series, it's actually going to have a different subtitle that will change as the story progresses. So the first one is going to be Liko and Roy set off, which is Liko and Roy are the 2 new main characters, the female and male character. They're going to be in the show. And this is not going to be episode titles. I think down here, somebody asked that specifically. So episode titles, and Cerebi replied, not quite. These are for groups of episodes. So basically, think of like how in Pokemon before you had like the Indigo League, and then you had like, the Johto series, and it's kind of like that, but in a kind of a similar to that, but it'd still be different ways, so to say. But that's just one of the first few things to talk about. We still got more stuff to talk about, like for example, this right here from Light. And he says the following: a riddle for the next upcoming trailer. Probably is fake. Anyway, there is no new info, so we can talk about this. And then there is basically this image where Okidogi has, I think it's an item finder. I could be wrong. I think that's what I'm looking at right there. You got Monkey Dory with, I'm not going to guess what that is. It's not a repel. I mean, maybe it is a repel, something like that. And then Fezandi, which is, oh my lord, what a hard name, has a Abra, which I'm assuming is teleport. So all these this would imply then that these 3 Pokemon have different utility in the game, right? As kind of a way of working in the game, similar to HM moves, but instead, I guess Okidogi would be like an item finder to look for items for you, kind of similar to, I guess, Ursaluna. If you guys actually played Pokemon Legends Arceus, you can use Ursaluna to look for items in the ground and stuff, as it, kind of like almost like detects it. So kind of similar to that. And then Monkey Dory, I guess, would be repelling other Pokemon away. And then the pheasant here, the final one, the bird, would actually be teleport, similar to escape rope, so to get out of places you don't want to be in. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Here's what he says. Probably Okidogi will help us to find items. Monkey Dory can find specific Pokemon. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not repels. And Fezandipede can find specific natures. Any other IDs? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the Abra here. That's just what I thought. But either way, so again, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this one. Let me know in the comment section down below. It is a riddle. I don't know who originally posted it, but it's an interesting one if that is what the use case is going to be for these guys. Next up is this right here. Apparently, there's going to be codes coming out for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is this right here. The stream of the Pokemon European National Championship will publish 2 codes. One will be to receive the Scarlet and Violet Palafin used by Gavin Michaels to win the championship here, and another to receive a Maridon EX Rare Special Illustration in TCG Live. So if you want to get those, well, there you go. Those will be available during the International Championship. If I do make a video tomorrow, which I'm going to be trying, by the way, I did a poll on YouTube and asked you guys if you want daily rumor videos on Poke Forward, and you guys said yes. So that means I got to make daily rumor videos now with whatever actually pops up. It's been a bit dry, so we'll try to make videos every single day. Even if the videos end up only being 4 to 5 minutes long, I hope that's fine. At least you'll get a daily dose of, content every single day covering stuff. But don't worry, we still have more to talk about in this video, and that's going to be this big boy right here. Now, this is a massive theory that's been put together by Soul Silver. So if you guys, again, don't know who Soul is, he's a leak analyst, a theorizer, a person like that. Now, let's read through this massive post, so sit back, relax. Many think that this map could be Kitakami because it resembles the IRL Tohoku region. Now, what does he talk about? Well, this map right here, we saw this specific map shown off in the trailer for the DLC, right? This was shown off to us. And then all we saw after that was really nothing. We didn't really know much else about this place beyond that. But he has a bit of a theory here, says the following, where Kitakami is, and the Tohoku region is this part right here of Japan itself. So, he continues on and says the following, turned on its side, but in using that same logic, it resembles many other viable real-world locations too. The south of the Netherlands, the Azores, and the Balearic Islands, Majorca. Whether this is or isn't the land of Kitakami, I'd bet that when Game Freak first started thinking up places to visit in a Paldean DLC, the islands of Spain and Portugal were considered. I'm personally leaning towards this not being Kitakami, but part of the Blueberry Academy, which is technically an island somewhere out in the sea. I believe it's a sister school to the Paldean schools that's probably meant to be a nearby and should be practically found near Paldea or in the in-game map. Think of the Isle of Armor and Galar. Exactly. That's people forget we've already had DLCs. We already have a precedent for how this could work and where it will be located. So he says the following. I say all this because I believe the Blueberry Academy will most likely be based off of the Iberian Islands, and specifically Majorca, as it looks very similar. Also, if this was Kitakami, and also if you want to see Majorca, it's right here. So you guys can kind of compare that. You can pause the video and then compare it to this land space that we have right here. He says also, if this was Kitakami, the part we see on this map would equate to the very top of the IRL Tohoku region, the Aomori Prefecture, meaning that the IRL Iwate Prefecture, and especially Kitakami, are barely even on this map, and would be further east and south. Because there is a literal Kitakami in Japan, by the way. There's an actual Kitakami in Japan. By the way, but I digress. I cannot deny this map does look a lot like Tohoku region too. As I've said many times, this is the Pokemon world, not a one-to-one of our world, so anything is possible. True. And then there is a further post that he did here back on the 31st of March, but he says, though, to be honest, in my eyes, it actually looks the most like IRL Rotterdam area. And that's right here. Funny enough, I'm actually, I don't know if my mouse is on the screen, but I'm actually really close by here. Let me just, see if I can point it to you guys. Let's see. You guys can see my mouse. Well, I am currently right here. That's where I'm currently located in this part of the world. And this is specifically Belgium. So he's saying that it looks a little bit like this part up here of the Netherlands. And I'm assuming this is an old map from, I guess, the 17th century. Or is it this? How do you say that? By the way, this is a very old map, okay? And what you see right here is a lot of missing land, because what the Netherlands and what the Dutch do really well is take back land from the ocean. They're very good to like do that. So actually most of this is filled in now. The ocean hasn't really, it's gone back. They've taken back a lot of land by doing land reclamation. So it'd be kind of cool though if this is what it's based on. No, it's really weird if they decided to do that, but I will point out the Netherlands, as well as I think well actually yeah, that's what Belgium used to be called, the Spanish Netherlands. These guys were actually controlled by the Spanish for a very long time. Okay, this is a whole thing, and they hated it, and that's why they revolted and eventually became their own separate states and all that. And they got their own king, the King of Orange or something like that. Either way, just doing some Belgian and Dutch history here, but nonetheless, he does point this out, and he does say here, which is interesting, Spanish Netherlands, which was, back in the day, the name Flanders was used as Pas Pro Toto, was the Habsburg Netherlands ruled by the Spanish branch of the Habsburgs from the 1556 to 1714. They were a collection of states of the Holy Roman Empire in the Low Countries, held in personal union by the Spanish crown. So yes, this is what he's saying here, is that anything is possible. They could literally use the Netherlands as a basis for this, right? And he says the following: though to be honest, in my eyes, could be Rotterdam area of the Netherlands, but I bet if we looked hard enough, we could find many places IRL that resemble this Pokemon world map. The reason I decided to give this attention is because, I believe it or not, there's somewhat of a connection to Paldea. There was once a Spanish Netherlands, a big chunk of the lowlands that Spain used to rule over. However, when I looked into it, I found the Spanish Netherlands were more south than Rotterdam in modern-day Belgium, which yes, so that's not exactly what this map could be referencing. Still, with the connection and name Spanish Netherlands, it's possible the Game Freak, Japanese, may have just gone with the Spanish Netherlands, mostly Belgium, and very southern Netherlands as a foreign exchange student program vibe. It's still in Europe, and after all, check out this thread. And, there is a whole, post right here from somebody that actually put together a really cool theory for all this stuff. So basically, here's what they had to say. They said, reposting this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC theory, I have an assumption that the Blueberry Academy might be in a region based on the Netherlands. The water theme that surrounds it might be a hint, and the map in the direct looks like it could be the south of Holland or Zealand. And he says also the following, it's hard to say where on the map, as the region seems similar to the area of, I guess, southern to Rotterdam, but logically it would be Zealand, literally translate to Sealand. We'll need more info to see how it works out, but it would definitely be an interesting region. Also, adding in, as I do want to refer to the fact that in the map of the region, there are mountains and the Netherlands is flat, but I mean, it is fictional after all, so anything could be possible. Still keeping it as a reason as to why it's possibly not the Netherlands, but again, just interesting to point that out. And yes, there is a lot of waterways that kind of stick in here, and it would make perfect sense, right? You would have Rotterdam in the top. Technically, the ports of Antwerp would be a bit further down, and yes, I guess it would still be keeping it in Europe, so you can't argue that, oh wait, why is like Paldea based in Spain, and then we have Kitakami and all this stuff that's literally Japan, which doesn't fit the theme. Well, one of the DLC, the Blueberry Academy, can specifically be literally the Netherlands, right? Plus, I guess a bit of Belgium, but you know, it is what it is. That's basically what it could be. And then, you know, Kitakami itself, the one we see in the first DLC, could be a part of Japan, or like we have to travel further away. And then, you know, together with the people who meet in Kitakami, we go as exchange students, because that's what they say in the DLC information, that we're going to be exchange students to this academy. And since we already know that parts of, I guess, the Netherlands and modern day Belgium used to be under Spanish rule, we could make the argument that, yes, we could actually go there, which is so weird, dude. I never would have thought that they would use that as a basis for a DLC. But, you know, anything is possible. We are talking about Game Freak here, and they like to go wild with the shit. So it is possible. That's all I'm going to say. Either way, he finishes things off. Though it doesn't resemble it, it's a case for the Azores can still be made, or even what Arbusto said, suggested a few small islands at the very tip of Portugal. However, there will be very zoomed in or specific locations. And here's what he said. Also something interesting, the Algarves, Ria, Formosa has some similarities, but it would be perfect for Azores. So yeah, again, anything is possible. Could be a lot of these small island parts around there. But again, you know, your guys' thoughts and opinions will be appreciated on this, because I don't really know what it's going to be based on. Would you guys just tell me, okay? Would you prefer a bunch of Spanish-Portuguese islands to be the basis behind it? Would you prefer literally Japan or the Netherlands? Literally comment down below, okay? Which one of those three would you prefer for the DLC to be based on? At least the second part, because we know the first part, Kitakami, if this is Kitakami, because we don't even know if this is or isn't it, but we know that it's going to be somewhat Japan influenced. But then what about the second part? Where is the Blueberry Academy located? Like, is it going to be either the Netherlands or, you know, I guess that part of Europe, kind of Western Europe, so to say. So it could be that. And then it could also be, hypothetically, I guess, Japan. Or the third one, a few islands within these, like, you know, within Paldea itself, aka, you know, Majorca, fucking Canary Islands, whatever you want to say. Something like that. Nonetheless, that's just some theories. Let's finish things off with the last few things. So, one of the first things we have here is that we're actually going to be getting Chandelure arriving at the end of April in Pokemon Unite. And also, we have this right here from Kilios saying, I don't know what they have added or modified. I don't have the web archives, but there has been a new video added, okay, to the playlist for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on YouTube, which usually means a trailer is imminent. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while since we had a trailer. It's about time. So, ladies and gents, get ready. We got some news coming on the horizon very, very soon. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Again, let me know in the comment section down below which one of those 3 locations in the world should the DLC be based on, or do you think it will be based on? And I want to thank you all for supporting and watching. And like I said, you guys voted. You want daily rumors. Well, shit, I got to make daily rumors now. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gents.